Hey guys, what's going on? Camilo here from Trending Waves. I hope you guys are well. So welcome back to the channel. Let's take a quick look at today's session. Let's take a quick look at what happened today. We're gonna look at the SPY and the Qs and our alternate accounts. We've been trading under this resistance trend line for ever since January, okay, or December when it originated till today. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna touch base on whether or not if it breaks, what levels to look for to the upside on both the SPY and the Qs, and if it doesn't break, what should we be expecting to the downside? So guys, before we dive into the analysis, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, okay? And as an alternative, you can join Trending Waves. The link to the Discord group is pinned down in the comment section. We normally display and share these charts with our members, and every day at you request your charts, any market you want, and we'll provide the analysis for you. Okay, so let's dive in the Qs on the 1 hour time frame, guys. So we've been looking for this answer, and in that we're trying to ask ourselves if the wave 4 has completed on February the 24th. All right, and that is likely given the impulsive structure that came out of that day. Okay, so to understand what's going on here, we have to go back towards the high here on December the 30th. So after the third wave in the primary degree completed, excuse me, we have three waves down to W, three waves back up to X, and then we have ABC down to C, right, to Y of 4. Now, this trend line has been a pain in the butt for everybody. It's been popping up rather across a bunch of other charts that we'll review here also. And so, it was confirmed here when it got rejected on January the 13th, and then we got the sell-off. We retraced back to it, and on February the 9th, also rejected. ABC back to the B, rejection, sold off. So you can see here that every time it tries to reach it, right, we see continuation, or we see a negative reaction to it, okay, as you see massive sell-off come into place. So this has become a pretty important level to watch. Okay, so let's dive down to this area here, and let's dissect if we can find any evidence of an impulsive structure that will suggest that a 371 breakout is underway, and that this correction in the wave 2 is playing out. All right, guys, so down to a 30-minute time frame, let's review. Now, out of our February the 24th low, we can clearly see that this might have been a 5-wave progression. Okay, so if we draw this ourselves, right, we have the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, and the wave 5 to complete the 1. All right, now we have this correction, this ongoing correction. Is this a running flat? Is this an expanded flat? Okay, what type of flat is this? So in my belief, I think that this is an expanded flat. Why? Because an expanded flat would normally break above its previous high, and will normally come to retest the 1272 at 350.85. And in coincidence, it was a trendline resistance. All right, so that comes into confluence with what we're looking at. Now, are we going to expect a massive sell-off coming into the following week? And based on price history, that might be the case. But if it is, I'll take you guys to the alternate version of this count. But I don't think it is. I think that we are seeing evidence of an impulsive structure coming out of the February 24th low. We see an ABC coming down, and then once we complete the structure, so the levels to the downside are going to be the following. So we take a retracement from the high of wave 1, from the high of wave A, the origin of wave A, to the low of A, to the high of B. We'll go to the 1272 because we're looking for a 1-to-1 extension, 1272 here. And we see that comes in confluence between the 2338.2 of the minor degree fib extension, and between and also that's pretty much it, right? So ABC to this 1272, and so that level is 338.53, guys. All right, so that's a level that I am looking for. So you can clearly see that we are near it. Okay, we're nearing the zone of support. Okay, and if we look back in its price history, what that level indicates is that this is also a zone that is important, because this was a pivot in this price history here when we touched it and bounced back. This was a pivot here when we touched it and then bounced back. And also, let's take a look further back in history to see if that was some sort of important area. And it is, right? Because it was once here resistance. Okay, back here on February the 12th, and it was resistance here, okay, back, excuse me, between April 15th and, well, within April, right? So clearly we can see that the zone has been, has been of clear support, right, and resistance for price action. So I am anticipating that there will be some sort of confluence and in price action that will let us know that perhaps this area here is of interest for the bulls. And once we see that price action hit, we then turn up higher, and that's going to give us a break above this resistance trend line. Now, don't get fooled, guys, because we may come back up and fail to break out of it based on any geopolitical event that has been, it's happening at the moment, which we can clearly see, right? But there's an argument to be made that this is a strong support area. Okay, so be on the lookout for 340, 338, and 336 for potential support zone to take us over to 371.09. Alternatively, guys, if we fail to break that, then chances are that we will start heading on lower. Now, this price action here, or this wave count, is suggesting that out of our primary degree wave 3, you got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, truncation, and 5 to the wave A, 3 waves pull back into B, and then we have this expanding triangle. Now, this triangle becomes invalid, which is already looking like, right? I mean, I've been forcing this a little bit. I've been pushing the line, or the resistance trend line upwards, just trailing the price action, but it technically becomes invalid once we break above this wave 2. Okay, so once we break above this wave 2, then we can start discounting this scenario. Otherwise, it is still likely that we see, if we don't hold, again, 340, 338, and the levels that I brought up to in the preferred count, it is likely that we'll start seeing 305, 322 in the Qs. All right, guys, so that's that. So remember, trendline resistance is what we're looking at to break. The zone of support is what we're looking to hold. Okay, now over to the SPY. The SPY, guys, is also displaying a similar scenario. So back up to the 1 hour time frame, and let's just review again like we did on the Qs. We're still looking for primary degree wave 3 to confirm the fourth wave was completed. Okay, so we topped out here in January, and then we bottomed here, or based on February the 24th. Now that came into 3 levels of confluence, guys. The higher degree wave 4, which I've explained to you guys in previous videos, the intermediate wave degree 786 of the WXY wave, and then 1618 of wave A versus wave B. So 3 levels here are stacking up together to let us know that perhaps that was the bottom. So that's why I'm getting a little bit excited, because that really does tell me that perhaps this was the case. Okay, now in this count, we can clearly see that this trend line, once again, like in the Qs, was originated on January the 4th, ABC AB rejection, okay, here on the 12th, and then we sold off into the C. So now we start seeing the same pattern, guys, right? Once we retest, we sell. Once we retest, we sell. Now, is that the case here for a retest and then we sell? I mean, third time is a charm, so I don't know. That might be the case. That's why we prepare for ourselves. That's why over trending waves, we're being very, very, very careful as to whether or not we take positions, okay? Because we can't just be jumping the gun and shooting, without any type of confirmation. Okay, now let's dive down to 30-minute time frame. All right, and this is the same scenario as in the Qs. All right, we have an expanded flat. So out of the wave 4, okay, on February the 24th, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, A, B, and now we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, is this going to be it? Maybe. The 1272, which will be 1 to 1 of wave B versus wave C, comes in at 426.99, and that sandwich between the 38 and the 50%. So these 3 levels, ladies and gentlemen, are the levels that we should be looking for downside support, should this be the case. All right, now like we did in this Qs, guys, just bear with me here. Let's take a trend line to confirm any possible support zones, okay, within this area here, and that is going to let us know whether or not this is a level that we should have interest. So once again, we see that there was an area here for an interest that we pivoted. Okay, same here. We went up once we've touched that support zone. Back here in price history, same deal. Wave 4 of the small degree, okay, bounced. And then let's take a look here on the other side, further back in price history. Okay, we see that this zone was resistance, support. Let me highlight this so you guys can see. All of this price action here was resistance and support. Okay, now once resistance became support, that's technical 101, and then we saw a reaction out of it. So I'm finding that this zone 427 ish, 426 ish is a level of high interest. Okay, once we see SPY come down to retest those zones. Okay, so again, please keep in mind that we can still dip lower if we don't hold that area. Okay, so 38.2%, 1272, horizontal support in price history, and stacking of fib levels. That's a recipe for a good area. Okay, if we hold that zone, then prepare for a 450, 456 SPY, because that'll be an extension between the wave 1 and the wave 2, guys. Okay, so a little bit more downside to go on the SPY before we can break above this trend line, which has been a pain in the ass for everybody. Okay, you can clearly see that it's been resistance for the SPY and the Qs. Okay, you can clearly see that that also holds true for the Dow. Okay, in the Dow, we're also displaying the same scenario. So out of a primary wave 3, we have 5 waves to the A, 3 waves to the B, 5 waves to the C, or 4, 1, 2, maybe this is A, B, and C down to 50%, and then we go. Okay, if we should break above this. Actually, I forgot to show you guys the alternate count for the SPY, but let me go back to that once I'm done with the Dow. So once we find support here, then we break out. Okay, 350.88 should be our target for the wave 3, which will be a 100% extension of wave 1. Okay, 100% extension of wave 1 to the wave 2. Okay, so that should be zones of high interest for us. I mean, guys, if this is the case, then look, this is a good confirmation or good level to start loading up. Don't get FOMO, because if this is in fact the zone, I mean, look, let me take you back to the SPY, guys. Okay, if this is where Elliott wave analysis comes into play, I know this is a little crowded, but look, check this out, right? If this is a zone where we find support, then guess what, guys? You have all of this zone. Actually, you have about let's take a look. You have about almost a 7% gain versus a risk of about, oops, that's not this one right here. That was in the tool, versus a 3.5 or almost 4%. So that's a good risk to reward here, and possibly this can continue on higher, guys. All right, so this is why I love Elliott wave, because once the wave 2 is confirmed anywhere between the 30 and the 50%, that gives us a very, very, very little zone of risk to take for a potential upside opportunity to a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, okay, or even 3-to-1 on the SPY or any chart, once you are able to capture this type of setup. Okay, guys, so what I was going to show you here was the alternate count for the SPY. So the alternate count, which this is a little bit clearer than the Qs, is that out of our wave B, we have this expanding triangle. So 1, 2, 3 ways to the 4, okay, which is holding a resistance, and then we're gonna roll over into 5. So this is still a possibility, just as long as we remain south of this trend line and the trend line that we saw on the other count, and also wave count invalidation, which is here at 448. Then look, guys, this may be the case. We may still see further price action to the downside. Otherwise, 426 or 427 is the key level to watch. Okay, guys. Let me see if I forgot any of the chart here. Let's take a quick look at IWM. Same deal, you see. So IWM on the 1 hour time frame, we can clearly see that wave 3 WXY trendline resistance. So we haven't retested it for the third time. We actually originated in November, confirmed it here on January, and then we're looking to retest it. Okay, if that's the case, guys, look, A, B, and C, maybe 38.2, and then off we go to 215.76. So I'm getting excited. I'm getting ready for the next leg up. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave your comments down below. Love to interact with you all. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.